Hello, guys. My name is Issy, and I'm inspired to share with you something about life, mistakes, and bouncing back. What I have noticed is that in life, each and every one has his or her own unique experiences. But it seems that even though our experiences are different and unique, the lessons that we pick up from these experiences tend to be pretty much generic. For instance, you may be interacting with someone and you may be having a conversation about patience, and when they bring their views, you would realize that one person learns to be patient probably through a friend who is constantly on their nerves, and yet another person also learns the same lesson through a boss or a spouse or whatever different situation. And so even though everyone seems to have a different kind of story, we tend to relate when it comes to the issues that we discuss. And I'd like to use that as a premise to talk to you about what happens to us in life, the reasons I think you should let go, and why you should bounce back. The first reason why I would like to talk to you about bouncing back is that you are not the first or the last person to go through something. Now, I understand that when we are in a moment of grief or regret or whatever emotions that we go through because of everything else that happens to us, we tend to think that it is just us in the whole world that are going through that particular thing. And I would want to admonish you to understand the fact that you are not the only one that goes through whatever it is that you go through. If you have lost a job, you are not the first or the last person to lose a job. If you have been broken-hearted, oh honey, I cannot tell you the number of people who have cried because of broken hearts. And so whatever it is that you seem to beat yourself up because you think that you are the only one going through this and da 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 whatever, please know that it is life. Everyone has a story. Each and every person that you meet has something that they've been through. And the difference between the people who seem to improve and the people who do not sometimes come from the realization that everyone goes through it and you are not the only one who has been through a situation. The second reason I think that we should let go of the things that happen to us is because our situation can either get better or worse depending on our attitude. And so many a time we seem to find ourselves in a position, let's say that someone is in a financial um, distress, and because of beating ourselves up about whatever it is, whether through no fault of ours or even if it's through our own mistakes that we find ourselves in that position, if we constantly beat ourselves up and we do not let go and then try to improve the situation, you would realize that 3, 4, 5, 6 months or probably years from the time that you realize that you made a mistake, a lengthy amount of time passes by, and then you realize that, oh, what have I actually done to improve this? And then things may even get worse, and we sometimes wish that we were in situations that we were in months ago, even though months ago it wasn't all that rosy. We still had the issues, but then it has become way worse. And so our attitude determines whether the things that we are going through would be worse or better. The next reason that I would want to encourage you to let go of the things that happen to you is pretty much similar to the second one, and is that you may be wasting time. So the second one has got to do with the fact that things can improve or decrease depending on your attitude. And so if you do not improve things, then you would be wasting time. And so there are so many people that are still holding on to grudges about situations or things that happened to them years ago. Sometimes you meet people who are still angry about getting a divorce 20 years ago. And I am not putting down the emotional toll that some of the things that happen to us has on us. I am not saying that it is nothing. It is something. But you do not want to waste too much time. I know that you may be brokenhearted and you would have to definitely move on at one point or the other. But if you do not do that, then you would wake up 2 years from now and realize that you have been wasting time when you could have actually put yourself out there and then begin to start something new that would improve the situation. And then finally, I would also want to stress on the fact that you can always improve. You definitely can. Sometimes we deceive ourselves by thinking that we are stuck in a particular situation. Let me use my personal example in a particular area of my life to tell you that you can't always improve. I messed up my first degree. The class that I graduated with was way below my potential. And after having a pity party and then about what I wanted to do with my life career wise, I decided to take the long approach of improving my life because I was, um, what do you call it? I almost settled. I was even tempted to take a job in a different field that might not necessarily make me happy. But then it took me about 4 years or so to go back to school, get my second degree, and then work on a weekday while pursuing my second degree on a weekend basis. And then I eventually slowly worked my way into the industry that I wanted to be the whole time. And then because I was still young and I still had the chance to do whatever it is that I wanted to do. And it doesn't even matter whether you are young or old. As long as you are committed to improving your life, you always can. And so now I am in the industry that I truly want, and I am doing a job that fulfills me better than I would have had I taken that job that I was tempted to earlier. And so I'm actually admonishing us that we can always improve on now. Do not beat yourself up about things that happen to you. Let it slide and let it go. And when I'm talking about bouncing back, I'm not talking about waking up one day and pretending that nothing has happened to you, or waking up one day and then going like flying all of a sudden when you have been down for a very long time. I'm talking about taking simple steps. Sometimes it may even mean accepting the situation in the first place. Sometimes it may mean crying. Sometimes it may mean talking to your support system, your family, your friends, the people that genuinely care about you, and taking little steps to improve your life, to ultimately start making progress and then bounce back from whatever it is that you have been through. And so this week, I just want to encourage someone that it is life. It does not come with rules book. We all learn sometimes the hard way, some people worse than others. But if we would forgive ourselves of the things that we go through, whether or not it is our fault, we give ourselves permission to let go of the things that happen to us so that we can begin to take steps to improve our lives. I hope that this video helps you to do just that and live your definition of being happy. Bye.